So hey guys, let me tell you a little story about this fish right here. A little bit of that Charles Manson, that little Mason eye in there who just hid off camera. Oh, there he is, popping at the top, checking out the camera. He's like, what the hell? What's going on here? But this guy, he's not scared at all. No, he's never scared. He's the crazy fish, the one that will try to rip your hand off if you put it in the tank. Because he's not nice. He isn't nice. Look at him. He's deciding, oh, I'm going to go for the glass while I can't get to him. I know when he lifts that lid, I can get to him. He's that type of fish. He's smart enough to know that he can't get me through the glass. But I put my hand in here. That's a different story. Oh, yeah, he saw me. He saw me put my hand at the top. And no, he doesn't think I'm going to feed him because he knows I don't have the bag. He's actually smart enough to know if I don't have the bag, he knows he knows I'm not feeding him. He's just going to be like, hey, get my hand out the tank. You don't got food. He's that type of fish. And again, he's hiding again. He's scared of that camera. He's more of a wimp. But this guy right here is the monster. The guy who made me learn a lot about cichlids. He was about cichlid aggression. The one thing I can say, I've never had cichlid deaths for water quality, but I did have them for them killing each other. That was the one mistake I made. And I did my research and stuff. You know, it was a lot of self-learning, who works together and whatever. And a lot of times it's just finding who can work together, because again, like, you can't, one fish will work with another, but this guy right here doesn't work with anybody. He's just a crazy fish who's older now, and he just hates, I don't want to say he hates life, he loves life, he just wants to live life alone, and everything else be dead. That's the kind of fish he is. So, when I first got this tank, let me start when I got into this hobby. My dad used to keep cichlids, well, Oscars, and I wanted to get Africans. He wanted to get Africans, he never had them. Now he got me interested into them, and then I got this 30-gallon, and I knew I could keep some cichlids in here. It was good. You can keep some cichlids in a 30-gallon as long as they're not crazy sadistic fish like these guys are. Look, he's out because of my camera's farther away. But so I got this. I had a couple electric yellows and cabros that I'm like in love with those fish. Most of the cabros is my favorite cichlid. My favorite. But anyway, I wanted to get a bluefish, and the one fish I was interested in was the Maingano. He was cool looking, the barring, and I had to get that fish. So basically, I went to the fish store, and he was in the tank. And the one thing I should have figured, you know, you're looking for, you know, the healthy fish. I thought I knew what I was looking for. He was a fish, let me angle this, in the middle of a tank. And, you know, I should have realized that was because he was the most aggressive, sadistic, crazy fish. Because all the other fish were around the edges, like in the corner, and they were all hiding from him. And I didn't think about that. I thought they were just like, you know, like the dying weird fish. They weren't like dying. Like, they were all like the wimpy ones. I'm like, I'm not getting that fish. I want the fish in the middle. And he was basically so aggressive that it came to a point, I guess, in that tank at the store, that he didn't have to like bully anybody. He was just in the middle because they were all so scared to encroach in his zone that he controlled. And yeah, so and he was just crazy. So I got him in this 30-gallon. I had all these other fish, and they all love this log. This log was the best. They actually shared the log. The cichlids share the log, right? They're supposed to be aggressive. And I got him, and then the whole just chemistry in the tank changed. And he wanted the log, and he kicked out all, like, 8 fish I had. He kicked them all out of the log, and he just attacked them and attacked them. And until he got the log, and he was just a bully, and he changed the chemistry. And then these fish, just because they didn't have the log anymore, they started competing for their own little spaces because they didn't want to deal with him. And then none of them killed each other. They, you know, they were okay. They had their little spats, but because they wanted that log, but they couldn't have it, so they had these flower pots and some rocks. But this guy decided that any fish that he really didn't like seriously, he just had individuals, and these fish are smart enough to recognize individuals, not just other species. These fish are highly intelligent. A lot of people don't know that. They know who else not to mess with, who to mess with, from even individual species of another species. And they recognize people in my house. They're really smart. Again, so, anyway, the people he didn't like, he would assassinate at night. And, you know, they're supposed to be sleeping at night. This guy would stay up, or, like, wake up at night, and he would kill off these other fish. And I would know that it was him because, like, back in high school, you know, you have your alarm clock a lot of times. I don't know, depending on if you guys went to school or whatever. You know, you wake up a lot of times in the wintertime. It's when I had these fish. I started off, you know, before the sun's up. So I'd wake up, turn the light on in my room, and I would see him basically taking out the victim that was like already weak and like sleeping, and basically he would just rip them to pieces. So I named him Grendel because he would come out at night and he would butcher his victims. He would assassinate everybody at night. And one of those rare cases, I don't know how many, maybe other people have had that experience where the fish comes out at night and bullies the other fish, because this guy I didn't even know was more nocturnal. I'm not even saying Maingano is a nocturnal species, but this individual himself, one thing you can say, yeah, okay, a species is a certain way, but they're still individuals, and each individual in that species, one can be peaceful, and one can be a crazy son of a gun. Really, I want to call him a son of a bee, but, that guy, there he is, you know, just ended up taken out, and I learned a lot from him. I ended up getting this 55-gallon tank because the 30-gallon wasn't working out. I mean, I always wanted to upgrade, but I upgraded faster because of this guy. Oh, oop, tripod's moving. Let me fix that. Okay. So anyway, oh shit, messed this up. So anyway, yeah. So then I got this guy too. He was in a group of 7. I actually ended up only paying $7 for him. I'm not really gonna talk about. It's a long story how I got them, but I got them. And so yeah, I got this guy right here, Grendel, the crazy son of a gun, who killed off a whole bunch of people by assassinating them. And he has to stay by himself, because if he doesn't, he will try and kill anyone. He's still trying to bully this guy, who pretty much ignores him now. He gets his rocks, he's happy, he ignores him. He teases him sometimes, but if that tank didn't have that divider, he wouldn't be teasing him. He'd be like, oh shit. Excuse my language, sorry. And yeah. I used to have a Cabros. He actually, pretty sure I'm not repeating myself, but there was 3 fish in this tank. It was that big Cabros I had. I didn't have this divider because he was such a good tank boss. He kept the crazy one in line. That's probably why he assassinated him at night, because the other guy was asleep. So he would go out and kill all his victims while the tank boss was asleep. And really messed up. Pretty smart fish though. He knew not to do it during the day when that 8-inch Cabros was cruising around. And yeah, so he used to keep them in line. And when he passed away, unfortunately, I didn't know how he passed away. Not the water, though. He just, you know, sometimes fish kick the bucket like that. And once that was gone, these two were on a war and had to separate them. And that's how they're in solitary confinement in the 30-gallon, not in the nice, spacious, condo, luxurious 55-gallon. I would like to upgrade. I actually have another place in the room I plan on getting a 100-something gallon tank, but that's far in the future. Who knows, maybe I actually will get one soon, but right now it's in my room, my 55 and my 30, and my 2 crazy fish at the bottom. My 2 evil fish. And I guess maybe my next videos I'll talk about these individual species and my experience with them. Starting out with my Cabros, because I love them. I love this guy. I love him, and I have the 2 of them, which is an amazing story about those guys. So, thanks for tuning in. And here's my video of my crazy Maingano.